According to information released by Invictus Energy via its website, Mukuyu contains the largest undrilled structure in onshore Africa. The company has now spent over $16 million so far and has announced it will start drilling for oil and gas as early as September this year. It has contracted Polish headquartered firm Exala Drilling to undertake the exploration.
To get the rig on location here took probably 8 to 10 weeks to rig up to where we are now. We're just waiting on final parts before we start drilling. To actually drill the well, we're anticipating will take about 8 weeks, and then we'll do our wireline logging, which will take 4 or 5 days, and then we'll suspend the well if it's successful and shift off the rig to the other location, which will probably take us 3 weeks to do that.
Exala intends to drill up to 3.5 kilometers deep at this Mukuyu 1 site at a cost of $16 million before moving to the second planned test well.
We start off with a surface hole which is 26 inches. We'll only drill that shallow to about 65 metres. We'll then drill a 17.5-inch hole to a depth of around about 600 metres. We'll then set 13 3/8 casing. We'll then drill a 12.5-inch hole set, 12.25, sorry, to a predetermined depth. And we'll then set 9 5/8 casing, and then from there we'll drill out and drill the 8.5-inch hole section to what we call TD. The well will be drilled, kicked off at a predetermined point and build up to 35 degrees and basically hold a tangent to TD.
The discovery of oil and gas in Zimbabwe has the potential to transform the economy of the southern African nation. Zimbabwe stands to receive the greatest share of the project's output under a production agreement still being finalized.
We envisage that the government of Zimbabwe will have no less than around 55 to 60% of the benefit coming from this project, which will be enshrined and entrenched in the production sharing agreement. So that's number one. The biggest beneficiary is the people of Zimbabwe through their government, through the revenues that they will be collecting. The second beneficiary are, of course, the shareholders, the investors who are taking a risk in running this project and operating it. So that is without any doubt the second batch of beneficiaries. The third one I should mention, as I was saying earlier on, the pension funds of Zimbabwe are invested in this project. Now here we are talking not just one pension fund or 2 pension funds, but 35 pension funds, sizable pension funds representing thousands and thousands of potential pensioners in Zimbabwe.
Modizo further highlighted the company remained hopeful that the first well will bring positive results and could immediately start reaping the rewards even at the exploration stage.
Now, during the appraisal stage of the drilling, there may well be some gas that is available from the exploration wells. The thinking at this stage is to capture that gas so that it can be. We don't have the luxury in Zimbabwe because of the energy deficiency that we face. We don't have the luxury of flaring that gas and burning it off into the skies. If we can capture it somehow and bring it into use, we will do that. But the big payoff, the big benefit from the exploration will come after the appraisal stage. When I don't know how long the appraisal stage will take, whether it takes 1 year or 2 years, I'm not sure. It depends on what the technical people find.
Invictus Energy has been prospecting for oil and gas deposits for the past 4 years in the Zambezi Basin, and in March this year it's reached an agreement with Zimbabwe's government to increase the exploration license area by 7-fold to cover an area that's almost 700,000 hectares. Khumalo, SABC News.